Hey, buddy.
Things were going so good.
Sorry, I'm just.
You leaving?
Yep, we're out.
Do you come tonight? We'll wrap
Yeah.
up party and you're probably doing other stuff, but always good seeing
I'll
you.
find out from my spot what I.
Littles. See you, buddy.
Give him a high five.
Yeah, there we go. Love you, bud.
Thanks.
Uncle Vaughn.
Dude, awesome meeting you, man.
Can't wait to see you up there.
Yeah,
You're gonna love it.
yeah, it's definitely gonna happen this month for sure, 100%.
Okay. You just let me know. I'll pick you up in the Suburban. There's plenty of room for wife.
See by his gun guns?
Yeah,
Whatever you wanna
it'll
do.
be me and the wife. Maybe one kid if.
Well, bring them all.
No
We got,
one,
we got plenty of room.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay. All right, we'll say bye.
See you guys.
Sorry for interrupting your video.
No, you're good.
Do your thing. Good to
Didn't
see
really
you.
start.
All right, appreciate it. And let me know if anything was 2A or
I will email
Whatever
that
I
or
need.
text it to you what.
and whatever I
next
need to
40
do.
hours.
If you need me to come down, I'll make a special trip for
Okay.
anything.
Thanks,
All
buddy.
right. Yep.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys.
door.
Okay, let's shut the door.
Is that pink?
It's rose gold. Yes, it is.
Dude, let's go through the gun collection.
Okay.
What's your favorite? My favorite is the dirty one down there that you painted, one with the buttstock.
So here's the funny thing: is I don't know the monetary value of everything on the wall, but there's probably at least 50 guns, if not more, total on the wall here.
So let's call it 50K. No,
I
100K.
probably a little over 100, I would say, because some of these are pretty expensive. But that's beside the point. The fact is, people walk into my office and be like, "Wow, this is a cool office. Look at all these guns," and they're like, "What is that?"
Really, this
And
is the.
this piece of wood with barbed wire on it gets more attention than any other gun on my wall. Probably other than the gold Tommy gun here gets a lot of attention as well. But this probably the most popular.
I'm gonna need 2 of those. Do I have
So-
to build that myself, or can I order
I'd
that?
probably rather get shot by every single gun on this wall than get hit by this thing. But but this one, like people come in and like, is that Lucille? Like, yeah, it is. But look at all the other guns.
Like, nope. I just want the $10 baseball bat and barbed wire.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just dabble in guns and got a few different ones.
So, it's been 2 years. So you've been open. The range has been
Two
open.
and a half years of store, 2 years range.
Yeah. Why was the range before the store? Wasn't the store before the range?
The store opened up because the range, when you guys did it, you guys had to do the build out, the dig. You had to put those huge retaining walls in. Remember that?
Yeah, I couldn't remember because there was.
And I didn't want to delay the opening of the store because we had to be out of our other store within a certain amount of time, right?
So the
'Cause we leased it
store
out.
opened 2.5 years ago. The range was 2.
Yep.
So
6 months out.
we worked on the range. This was an existing building and it was a massive remodel. And then to put in the gun range, we were cutting concrete and pouring concrete, and there was a lot of coordination between the company that did the
range.
did the
Action
range.
Target.
Action Target did the range, and we did the demo and construction on some of that. And but I can't believe it's been 2.5 years
Yeah.
already.
Well, it was intensive. Remember the range? So you guys had to. So it was like an archaeology dig in here. So when they went in there, we had like vinyl on vinyl on vinyl on carpet on carpet on carpet.
Yeah, this building was like 50 years old. There was mail envelopes, paperwork from 60s and 70s that we hauled out of here. There had been multiple remodels and different floorings, and so it was kind of a.
Yeah, so we had this huge area. Josh came in with the skid loader, scraped up all this old, 7 layers of flooring, and then we were left with about 10,000 square feet of just a perfectly square cement pad, right? And that's where the range was going to go. But we wanted to make the range into 2 bays. We wanted to have separate compartments so I could run a public range and then have another space that was more private with 6 lanes for bachelor parties, training courses, things like that. Or if one range was down, we could utilize the other one, do maintenance and things of that sort, which has been huge.
Did that work out?
Oh, it's been awesome.
So that required putting a massive concrete wall down the middle, which meant cutting through the concrete and excavation and pouring a footing and then building a wall that was, is it 10 foot tall? 12 foot tall.
It's about 12 feet tall.
12 foot tall wall between the ranges, and so it was a fun job. It was very unique. It's not just cookie cutter houses. Hey, we're building a gun range. Okay, what's involved in that?
I remember the cement work. We went to a lot of guys and like, yeah, we can't do that because it's an existing building, and typically I guess they crane the cement in or something
Yeah.
like that in the walls. These guys had to hose it in.
We had to. It took a grout pump to be able to get up into the ceiling area and then drop the hose in and fill that concrete form to pour that massive wall. And that was just one little issue in building the gun range, but.
Yeah.
Action Target did an awesome job. You'll see that. I mean, they built some cool stuff.
They did a great job. It was pretty intensive because then we had to bring in those steel beams too, which sat on the walls so if you guys aren't familiar with shooting ranges, you have to have steel baffles. So the bullets, if they get shot too high, it ricochets them back down to the range, so nothing's escaping out of this. Obviously in the store, we're in city limits here.
It's interesting. I was just talking to Neil. I'm like, we've got trees everywhere where we're at. So I don't do a lot of long range shooting because the majority of what we shoot is at 100 or 200 yards at the most. And so what I carry or what I shoot with is very different than what guys down in the high desert would be carrying. So I wanted to get Neil to speak to maybe some home defense, short range, long range, self-protection, and just pick his brain, let him share his thoughts and feelings because he talks to people about it all day, every single day.
Yeah, so I mean, we have people come in, and if you've never shot a gun, you're new to the guns, it's totally fine. Those are people I love the best actually because they're teachable. It's better than the guys who come in. We're like, man, I grew up on guns and I know everything about guns. You can't teach me anything. This is what I want, which is fine. If you want something, we'll get it to you. But you don't have to know anything to come in and buy a gun. I think people come in for the first time, they're nervous because it's a gun store. Guns are naturally a scary thing because the media, I think, has made them that way. Yeah. But again, it's a tool like anything else. It's like going to Ace Hardware and buying a shovel and a bag of cement or whatever it is. It's like everything has an application. So the gun is the same way. So if someone comes in, it's like, hey, I want to buy a gun. What's a good gun for me to buy? And they'll throw out something that broad where it's, the first question I ask them is like, what is the use? Every gun has an application. Every caliber has an application or a use for it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to be using it for? Is it hunting? Is it long range hunting or short range hunting? Big game, small game? You got to ask all these questions to kind of, drill down to the point of like, okay, this is the gun for you, right? So depending on what it is, like let's say you're up in the hills in Idaho and you got some varmints on the property and you want to get rid of, these beavers, pesky raccoons, whatever it is.
Foxes, raccoons, coyotes, whatever we got.
So you want a little bit of range, but you don't need a 300 Ultra Max. You're not shooting elk or anything like that. Yeah. But you want something that's accurate, something that's got some range, and something that's not ridiculously expensive in ammo, right? Yeah. Or the gun itself isn't super expensive. So, I mean, what I have for that and what's really popular is there's a 17 HMR, which a lot of people like. You can do bolt action, even come in semi-auto now. My favorite round now, even by the 17 HMR, is a 22 mag. It's one of my favorite rounds. Very accurate, very fast, got some good distance to it, and you can throw these things in a short range platform. So I got a CMR 30 here. I can bring it to the camera if you want. So this comes with a 16-inch barrel, and just so you guys know, anything that's a 16-inch barrel or longer and it's got a stock is designated as a rifle. If it doesn't have a stock, at that point it becomes a pistol, and typically those are 16 inches or shorter, okay? Now if you're stock and 16 inches or shorter, now you're falling into the NFA category of a small barrel rifle, or short barrel rifle.
SBR.
SBR. So this right here would be considered because I took the 16-inch barrel and I cut it down, and again, to do this you gotta have a license. This isn't something you can just do and be okay with, right? And I threaded the barrel and I put a suppressor on it. So I've got a shorter swing, yes, I'm losing some velocity because longer barrel means more velocity of a bullet. The more that bullet's going through the barrel and the more it spins, the more it's picking up speed as it exits the barrel. So I'm gonna lose some range on it, but it's gonna be quiet, it's gonna be easy, and I can still, you know, with the 22 mag, hit things easily up to 200 yards with this thing. So like you're saying, for Idaho, might be a good thing.
Well, I love that even as a truck gun or just to
yeah.
pack it around.
And this thing too, I mean, it'll, you know, it collapse, it goes out, so you can, you know, customize it to whatever your arm length is, whatever's comfortable for you. This also comes in a handgun form, which is this guy here, and it even takes the same magazine, so you can interchange between the two. Both of these are 30 round, 22 mag.
Wow.
So it gives you plenty of capacity. I mean, 30 rounds in there, you know? And
I love the idea of the silencer, even on that small caliber. Nobody's gonna hear it. It's gonna sound like somebody shutting a door.
Yeah.
It's,
on a 22 mag, the suppressor outside, I mean, it's like shooting an air gun. So again, you get a little bit of zip and the sonic boom from the bullet because it is going faster than the speed of sound, so you get a little crack there.
so what would
At
this?
the muzzle, it's not too bad.
What's the setup on this? If I wanted to take this home today, after
So this gun, and remember, this is very customized here. This is about a $600 gun. You get about $400 into the suppressor, and with this setup, you're going to need a $200 tax stamp for the suppressor and a $200 tax stamp because you have to do a Form 1 on this. Now, you don't have to cut the barrel. You can run the 16 inches and kick this out on the end, but now you're going to be out another, you know, 5 inches or so from the barrel. So at that point, you're running about a 20-inch barrel on this thing.
But this setup is so nice. I mean, you can put that in a backpack and take it with you wherever you want to go.
Yeah. And Ruger and a lot of companies now too, like Tac Solutions, has a takedown where, you know, they'll break in half, they'll snap together. I can show you some of those out here. Those are pretty awesome. Those would be good for that, you know, backcountry as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you're out on foot and you want to throw it in your backpack.
So my only complaint for this is a lot of the stuff that we've got is I might have a coyote out in the chicken coop.
Yep.
But I also have days where I've got a black bear nosing around in the garbage can.
yeah,
and so
definitely not a
this-
black bear gun.
And this seems a little light for that. There's also elk and deer, and so a larger caliber. What would you say to something like that? But
Well, so here's the game, right? Is like if I got a black bear gun, it's not necessarily going to be the best gun for. Not necessarily going to be the best gun for varmints, right? If I'm running a 45-70, which is a popular bear caliber, and I shoot a raccoon with it, that thing is gonna.
it's going to be pink mist.
It's gonna be pink mist, for lack of a better term. But hey, if that's what you're trying to do and just trying to get rid of the evidence, then hey,
That works.
I'm not saying you can't shoot a raccoon with 45-70. It just makes it messy.
So the one that I've been shooting lately that I really like is the 44 mag, and in lever action, and it seems to hit both sides of the spectrum. The ammo is relatively inexpensive, but I wouldn't be afraid to shoot something large with it or shoot something small. I mean, it's going to be pink mist.
Yeah, like if you're like, hey, I need one gun, I have budget for one gun, and that's it, and I need it to kill or shoot, you know, black bear,
Yeah.
or grizzly bear, whatever, and you need that bigger caliber, you know, that's
So
what you got to do.
That's been a good fit so far, and it was relatively inexpensive. It's not an $1,800 gun, it's a $600 gun.
Yeah.
And so if it gets scratched or whatever, bouncing around in the truck, I'm not worried about it.
Yep.
And quite frankly, the kids like shooting the 44 rag. It's something they can handle.
Yeah. Another thing too, which is an option, is like a carbine in a pistol caliber. So this one is a 9mm, and this is a good gun for anyone. So my 8-year-old daughter will shoot this thing. She loves it. It's got a red dot, so it's easy to shoot. You just tell her, you just put the red dot on the target. She's got a stock, it's stable, it takes a 33 round Glock magazine and 9mm. The other cool thing about this is, what is the biggest complaint you get for, you know, older folk or people who don't have the hand strength?
It's weight. Stuff is too heavy.
Yeah, it's too heavy, it's bulky, I can't grip it, and the other thing too is I can't rack the slide.